I think, every once in a while, even if it's just for a day or two, take a step back, take that mini vacation away from all of those things that are blooping and bleeping at you so that you can actually figure out what your mind is doing, where you are emotionally, spiritually. This is something, growing up in New Hampshire, we didn't have cable television or anything like that. In a lot of ways, it was decades behind people who grew up in other places who were more hooked in. And so for me, I think had the luxury of, I was really bored at the time, but now I call it a luxury of learning the importance of, just going fishing for a few hours. And then you just kind of stare out blankly at the water and it does something to you.
Yeah.
It recalibrates your mind. It allows you to relax a bit. And so few of us actually do that. So there are ways that you can do that though, even in the city.
I always talk about switching my phone into airport mode for at least a couple of hours a day, and I find just that little bit of space of not getting messages it starts the creative process as well, doesn't it?
It does, and I enjoy the thing that I've learned to do is to put my most important work in the morning and not check any of that, not have any notifications going until later in the day, the second half of the day, so that you can really just do your uninterrupted creative work in the morning. And that's what I tend to do. That's when I'm playing guitar, writing, and it's wonderful and difficult to explain what happens when you kind of set up those parameters in your life, because it's not easy to say, if you call me at 9 a.m., I might not be responding to it right away. But over the course of time, if the people around you realize that you do better work that way, even if you work with other people or in an office or something like that, if they realize that you are crushing it, if you have that opportunity to work hard uninterrupted in the morning, then people around you start to realize it, they bug you less, and then they're just like, okay, let's meet this afternoon, or we can plan on that. So there are ways to set your life up so that you can do your best work, and it's all about what works best for you and finding that out for yourself. But for most people, that time is the morning. A lot of people, when they retire, they start to get old and sick right when that happens, right? Because they lose their use in life. They lose that thing that makes them relevant to their community, to the people around them. They lose their purpose. And so I kind of wanted to see if that would happen to us. And I wanted to see if we could manage living in the middle of nowhere. We stayed in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, where our nearest Whole Foods was in a different time zone, literally. Middle of nowhere. We stayed there and had so much time to ourselves, and it was so quiet and so wonderful. We could walk around naked anywhere, and no one would see us except for the Sasquatch. And it was just great for a while, and then we got really bored. And we're just like, it's really nice to go through that experience and realize that that's not what you want. It might be something that is great to have in your bag of tricks. Take some time away, go to nature, spend some time just decompressing, shake the city out, but then get back to work, because that is your purpose. That's where you find meaning. And as long as you don't burn yourself out, when we came back, we were so happy to work and work really hard again, because you find that that's really what you love to do. You love helping other people, and being a monk in a monastery somewhere or living the equivalent kind of ascetic life in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee is something that is a luxury, and it's not necessarily what you want. To think that someday I'll retire, I'll make a bunch of money or something like that. This is the typical story that Americans tell themselves anyway. I'll make a bunch of money and then I'll just retire to this mountain in the middle of nowhere in the woods. Having kind of experienced that mini life, I know that that's not what I want, at least not right now. I want to work hard, and I want to work in service of people that hopefully I can help.